celebrating champion of the world. This guy is the epitome of fitness, the epitome of commitment, the epitome of physicality. Like, I mean, MMA fighting, if there's one sport that you love to watch but never want to participate, it's this sport. Right? That's what all the fun in the world, when I ever get in the ring with Rashad Evans, right? It's like, it's gonna be short and sweet. If you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit the ground. But this guy is so humble. He's so genuine, right? And he loves our product. We recommended to him by a friend of ours. He used it. He loved it. I got a chance to meet him in Cancun. Right? I got a chance to meet him in Cancun, and it was absolutely incredible. And we formed this amazing bond. And I said, Rashad, I need your help. I need your help to take this to the people that compete at the highest levels. This dude, I'm in. I'm going to do it. So not only is he just not an Olympic wrestler, he's a brand champion. He's an advocate for performance. He's an advocate for the champion mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rashad Evans.
Everybody, I appreciate you guys being here. And it's so good to see this super packed family just growing. And, you know, shout out to Jay for just really creating a community and everybody that just exudes confidence and exudes success. Some people may not know, but I was a UFC fighter for 13 years. 13 years I fought in the UFC. Woo! And it was an amazing experience, but I'll tell you, everybody always asks me, man, why do you fight? Like, why does fighters fight? And you know, it's a question that I often struggle to answer just because of the fact that the why is kind of crazy. For me, it was because it made me afraid. It was the fear aspect, you know. And I know a lot of you guys are like, man, fighters are fearful. You got fear, but yeah. It's that fear. It's that fear that allows you to perform and be as sharp as you can. But you learn to harness and you learn to push past that fear just with your preparation. The preparation is one of the most important things to help you be able to manage that fear. I had a coach named Greg Jackson. He was all about tapping into that mental space to allow you to prepare yourself in order for what you're about to do, which is get in the cage and fight another grown man. And, you know, he had an interesting way about it. One thing that we used to do, we used to go and train in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they have the Sandia Mountains up there. And he would take us up those mountains, 14,000 feet up, and he'd have us running these sprints up and down these steep steps that looked like if you just would have took a step to the left, you probably would have fell to your death. It was that crazy of a path, but that's what he wanted us to do. And while we were on that run, he would say to us, I want you guys to seek death. And one of the required readings that he had us do was the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. And what that book pretty much detailed about was coming into a warrior state of martial art perfection where you have faced the possibility of death and you become comfortable with it to the point where there is no hesitation, where you don't hesitate, where you don't fear. And throughout most of the time, throughout most of the camp, that will be the base of our workout. Like, he would train us so hard that it will be so painful that you will just be praying for it to come to an end. And that's the space that he wanted us in. He wanted us in that space where it was about finding that place of not caring when the suffering was going to end. And he would say, you have to outsuffer your opponent. You have to outsuffer your opponent. And that was his mindset. And so that became my mindset. But it didn't always work that way. I'm going to tell you right now, it didn't always work that way. There was some coming of age as far as understanding what that fear meant and being able to control it when it came time to compete. One fight in particular, I was getting ready to fight UFC legend in the name of Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was the man. He was the face of the UFC. He was knocking people out. He was a UFC champion many times over, and he was the face of the organization for the longest time. So when I had to fight Chuck Liddell, every time I told somebody I had to fight Chuck, they'll give me that look like, oh. Okay, good luck. And I'm like, okay, I know what that means. So that just made me want to go into the lab a little bit more and just push a little bit harder and work a little harder. And I did. I had a great training camp. And I get to the week of the fight, I'm feeling great, feeling very confident, walking around like I got this. And then there's something that happens interesting on fight week because you have the nerves right when you first sign the contract, then you're in training camp, but then you have a new set of nerves when it's fight week. When it's fight week, it becomes a little bit unbearable sometimes because you pull in many different directions with the media, cutting weight and everything that has to do with the fight. And it's easy to kind of start getting your mind down the path of what could happen if I lose this fight, right? So all week I was doing pretty good, and then I'm having these conversations with the media, and they're pretty much asking, like, what have you ever done to get a chance to even get knocked out by Chuck Liddell? Like, they were pretty so disrespectful with it, right? So I'm just like, okay, but it started to get to me, and the culmination of it started to get to me was when it was the weigh-in. Now, the weigh-in is the most impactful day of the whole week because all week you're seeing your opponent and, you see you're kind of friendly, but the day before the fight, which is the weigh-ins, is the day when you kind of get to feel out your opponent to see, okay, well, what's really going to go down. And I stand up in Chuck Liddell's face and I look down, and he's giving me that ice cold look like he's going to kill me. And I felt it. And it started to get to me, the nerves started to get to me so bad. So after the weigh-ins were over, I hang out with my family for a little bit, we eat some food, and then afterwards, it's the longest 24 hours of your life because now you're in the room by yourself, and you have the whole night to think about what's going to happen tomorrow and how you're going to feel tomorrow. So I'm in my room, and I'm just like, mental tough, seek death, and singing all the mantras to myself, and I feel like I'm riding this emotional roller coaster that fear is bringing to me, but then it just takes me on another path, and I just can't control it. And me knowing that I can't control it, I reach out to one of my mentors, Randy Couture, and I'm like, Randy, I need to talk to you right now. He says, you know what, you're in love. I'm here, come downstairs and see me. So I go to his room and I see him. Right when I see Randy Couture, I go to knock on his door. He opens the door, come to his door, and I'm just like, he's like, so what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, man, he's gonna kill me tomorrow. Now, mind you, I was there with Randy Couture fought Chuck Liddell 3 times, and he lost the last 2 times, and I was there for one of them. And I was kind of traumatized by watching that. So, I was like, man, if he did that to Randy, what is he going to do to me? And Randy gave me some of the best advice that I've ever had. And it was one that really changed the direction of my career. He told me, he says, Randy's real stoic when he's seeing me flailing around like a little kid. He's like, what the problem is? I'm like, no. And he says, the problem is, you need to make friends with your worst enemy. You need to understand that no matter what happens tomorrow, the sun is still going to rise, your family's still going to love you, you're going to get another chance to fight. And I was like, I didn't really digest it right away. It kind of was something that I just it made me feel a little bit better. And then I said my goodbye, so when I went back to my room, and I just sat in a dark room for a little bit, and I really thought about what he said over and over and over again. And then I started to feel more confident and really started to understand what my coach was talking about when he was talking about seek death. See, what he was talking about when he was seeking death is a complete surrender. The surrender to whatever may be, and being okay with it. And I sat there and I just kind of embraced that feeling. And then I started to look in the mirror, and every single time I had one of those feelings, one of those thoughts that told me that I can't do it, I said no. I said no. And I would say no emphatically, and I would say no emphatically to the point where before too long, I'm shouting in the mirror, I'm yelling in the mirror, no, no, no. And I'm just all pumped up, lathered up. And then I'm like, okay, I got this. And I had the best sleep that I ever had leading up to the fight that night. The next day I woke up with the same energy. Feeling really great. Go to the dressing room to get ready for the fight. Hit the mitts, ready to walk out for the fight. They say, all right, Evans, you're next. You're online. Let's go. You're on the hole. I'm like, okay, cool. My coach said, okay, you got your mouthpiece? Yeah. You got your cup? I'm like, no. No, I don't got my cup. So he's like, okay. I said, check my bag. So he checked my bag. There was no cup to be found. I had no cup. The biggest fight of my career, I didn't even come prepared for what I needed. And the hotel was too far away. I couldn't go to the hotel. So I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do? But my coach says, you know what? You're in luck. You are in luck. Your teammate Nate Marquardt just fought. You can wear his cup. Yeah. So I did what I had to do. And wore it like it was mine. I wore it like it was mine, and then I went out there and I had the best fight of my career. I knocked Chuck Liddell out in the second round. It was the most unexpected punch, but it was the most amazing thing, and it was all due to me being able to surrender to what is, and understanding that what that preparation was really like, and to really embrace what my coach was really trying to get me to see when he was telling me that I need to surrender. I needed to surrender to just the feeling of what it might be if things don't go my way. I remember the first time I met Mike Tyson, it was after I lost my first fight. I'm wearing Dre's after hours party. You know, yeah, it's a late night party, guys. It's a late night party. But we were hanging out, and I meet Mike Tyson. He comes to me and he says, he says, I seen your last fight. Okay, and he says, I know why you lost the fight. Okay, I'm all ears. You lost the fight because you have fear in your heart. Fear is like fire. If you let fear go on you, it can do some horrible things. But if you learn to harness your fear the right way, it can do some beautiful things. Don't let fear take over anymore. And I'm like, all right, Mike. All right, but that's really brought me to understanding what preparation is truly about. And when I speak of preparation, I think of Super Patch because what has allowed me to kind of restart myself and to get back on health in a different kind of way and be part of one of the protocols that I use to just better my health altogether has been the Super Patch. I've been able to be lucky enough to come across this in a very unexpected way. And at first when I seen the Super Patch, I didn't give it a chance because it just didn't seem like it would work. It seemed like it was too gimmicky. It just didn't seem like it would be anything to it. But I'll tell you, the first time that I put that patch on, I was blown away with just what I was feeling. I was blown away with the fact that, I was really sore, really hurting. I put that patch on, and it just took it away in a way that I didn't expect. And even now to this day, like just the other day I was training, and I strained my calf, and I put the patch on, and within a few hours, my mobility is already better. Not that the pain was totally gone, but it had minimized it to the point where I was in shock because I thought for sure I would be limping around. And I'm using that patch now, and I'm using the patches more than anything because now I'm on the other side of things. I retired in 2018 from the UFC. Now I'm on the second phase of my life, and my life is, pretty much basically, I travel a lot, I do speaking engagements and things like that, but for the most part, I really want to take care of myself. I want to take care of my health. I want to be able to still be competitive and still compete if I have a chance. And Super Patch offered me a chance to do that. Just recently, because I'm kind of crazy, I decided to do a boxing match. Yeah, I decided to do a boxing match. I decided to do a boxing match with one of my rivals in Rampage Jackson. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be in a few months. But I've been heavily relying on the patch because for me, it's so clean. The energy that I get from it. There is nothing that I need to do as far as like I gotta remember to take these supplements. I gotta remember to take it at this time. There's none of that. And I know that I'm still able to train and push myself, but I give my body a break. I give my body a break from processing all the supplements that it takes sometimes in order to be able to feel like you can push yourself to the next level. Mm-hmm. And this whole idea of what Super Patch is, Jay is one of the guys who, when I think about Super Patch, he says, I'm here to change the world. And with the patch, I definitely can see that because it has changed my life. Thank you guys.